There are two types of people in the world. There are people who add value and people who take away value. Always be the person that adds value, and you will have a great life. Rocco Trupiano. Most of us want to change something about ourselves. Maybe you're doing quite well financially, but your family relationships are in terrible shape. Or maybe your business is going gangbusters. Your family is wonderful, but your doctor says you're dangerously overweight and need medications to control your blood pressure or some other high-risk condition. Perhaps you've fallen into a funk, unable to locate the wisdom and motivation to love life and be endlessly curious about it. Deep down, you still know that life is a precious gift, but you're haunted that you might be wasting your life stressed out about things that don't ultimately matter. I have 3 things to say if any of this sounds like you. That nagging feeling that you could be getting more out of life is 100% right. Life is meant for abundance in all its aspects. Second, it only takes small incremental changes consistently applied to change your life dramatically. Anyone can learn to have a life overflowing with abundance, and not just financially. That might sound a little pie in the sky to some, but it's absolutely realistic. This book is the practical, straightforward guide on how to get it. Last, I can say all this with total confidence because of my own lived experience. I started at the very bottom, completely broke, and without direction early in my life after losing my dad as a teenager. It was sink or swim for me. I had no wealthy relatives or friends to throw me a life preserver. What I am sharing in this book are the key concepts that I used to completely turn my life around and to keep growing in abundance to this day. Tenacious habits and an abundance mindset is all you need. How this book came to be. My life has been spent in a non-stop tenacious pursuit of abundance. For more than 3 decades, I have flown all across America and spent countless hours attending seminars, programs, and courses from the very top masterminds and experts in abundant living. I've invested more than $300,000 to do it, and in the process, have learned how to become much happier, healthier, wealthier, and wiser. I'm also a passionate reader of books, a listener of podcasts, and a seeker of the most valuable videos and proven online information out there. I have created significant success across several industries and learned a lot along the way from both my mistakes and my triumphs in business. In this relentless quest for abundance, I have absorbed and tested as much as possible, and in the process of all those decades, I have figured out what works to create a totally abundant life. I've also figured out what doesn't, but that's not worth writing about. I'd rather stick with telling you what actually helps. I decided to see if I could put what I've learned between the covers of a book. My original intention was to simply write a book for our 2 daughters, grandchildren, and future grandchildren as a way to guide them to live a life of tenacious abundance. However, my wife, Sally, encouraged me to think a little bigger. Why not share it with as many people as possible and benefit others too? She asked. I love this idea, and it reminded me of one of my own favorite books. It's a classic, and I'm sure many of you have heard of it, and some have no doubt read it. It's titled Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and the book had a tremendous influence on me. It is still worth reading, by the way, but there are 2 ways it could be stronger. One is that the language and examples are now dated, which of course is to be expected given that it was published in 1937. The second issue is that it is only focused on creating wealth, as you can tell from the title. It's fantastic advice on growing rich, but wealth is only one part of having an abundant life. You need the happiness, health, wisdom, and blessedness to go along with it.